Okay, so part 2.
Everybody got their maps from yesterday?
Yes, sir.
Safa?
Okay.
I'm doing day right now.
So let's see. Yesterday we learned how to load layers into ArcGIS, project layers to correct coordinates, create your own shapefiles, and create your own map. And then today we are going to export shapefiles, join shapefiles to an Excel table, select by attributes, and georeference images. Okay.
Before we start, first go back to data view. So you go view, data view, to get out of the, yeah, there you go. Then you guys can uncheck everything except for the aerial images and the footprints. Yeah, view, data view.
Yes.
You can uncheck everything except the aerial and the footprint. Yeah, for this process. It's the same as loading data from yesterday. Remember? Plus, no. There. All the way down. Keep building.
Everybody good? Okay, so we're gonna be looking at attribute tables. So if you right click on the footprint layer and go to open attribute table, you'll see the attribute table, and it has all of the embedded information inside of it.
You know, sometimes the attribute table doesn't have the information we need. So we need to join another existing like Excel table to this table, and that's what we're doing right now. Like for what we're gonna do to make this map, the BIM status map. What are they gonna do? They're gonna join this table with another Excel listing what's been completed, what's pending.
So I took that from the AIM data that we had, and then joined it with this.
So you're not limited to the information on the attribute table. You can actually add data to it. So we can put more.
Okay, so and then what we're gonna do is show all of the buildings that have classrooms on the UH campus.
On data attributes, how many columns? What is the maximum column?
The maximum columns for an attribute table.
You can keep input adding information to make it to that column as much as possible.
I think so. Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Okay, so we're gonna make a copy of this table so that we can edit. So right click on the footprint layer again, go to data and export data. And then we want to export all features, and then use the same coordinate system as this layer. And then under the output feature class, we're gonna change that. So go to the folder, your local folder that you want to save it, and then give it the name UH Classrooms.
Is it under demo 1? It's
Under demo 1?
Yeah, it's not also the GIS tutorials. Name it something descriptive so you can remember what it is.
And then save it as a shapefile, and then save, and then OK. So we're creating a new shapefile that has all of the attribute table information from the footprints. And then when it asks you if you want to add the exported data to the map as a layer, say yes.
Change it to name something.
Oh yeah, you close it. Yeah, just close it, yeah. We just opened it so you can see what it looks like.
Oh, maybe you have to drop down and look for shapefile. Same as type shapefile. Yeah.
Okay, so the new shapefile should pop up under your table of contents. Okay, and then we're gonna add the Excel sheet right now. So go to your Add Data button at the top, like how we did yesterday, and then go to the folder Demo 2 under the tutorials, and then add the classroom CSV file.
When you exported it as a shapefile, basically made a copy of that, so that you can still keep the original.
And what do you want to add?
The classroom CSV
Yes,
file
Demo 2.
in Demo 2.
Oh.
So this is the table that we're going to use to join to that shapefile that you just made. Did everybody add theirs correctly?
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Is this because we have 10.0?
Maybe.
Let's try this again.
Is the name of the original shapefile for the choice. And Mark made his own one. This is the name under quality and state. Under Ian, you can see there's like different categories. It's the same folder.
It's not, because it's saying it has other. Maybe it'll add a regular.
Why is that doing it?
Unless we change the file type to an Excel sheet in the Excel.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna try and do.
And like sometimes, like I guess this one's not working because we have 10.1 on this computer as opposed to the 10. I mean, we have 10.0 on here as opposed to the 10.1 that you guys have. But sometimes when you do this, like you can also put on like like XLS or the newer version. But whenever I think it's like XLSL or something, I don't know what the file extension for Excel is, but I always have to use the older one in order for it to work. The .xl. Oh, it worked?
We use an XLS.
XLS. Yeah, that one usually works for like as opposed to the newer version. Okay, where were we? Okay, so it's added on, and then you want to go to the UH or whatever you named your new shapefile. Right click, and then go to Join and Relate, and then go to Join. Okay. Right click on the shapefile, go to Join and Relates, and then Join. Okay, so under You got it? So under the join data table, you want to make sure real good. Yeah, so what we're doing right here is we're going to choose the field in the layer. So in the shapefile that we just created, we want to choose a field to match with the Excel file. So you want to make sure you have so how we're going to match these two tables is by the building number column. Can you change it? Go to the arrow, the drop down arrow, and change it to building number.
It doesn't have.
Did you? Is number 2? Is your number 2 classrooms? Okay.
This one seems to be. Which one is?
It has the build. It has the.
Yeah, we're not getting the building numbers.
Yeah, join attributes for a table. Building number, and then
Yeah, Michael was sick. When he told me off. I'm sure.
It's a model. Actually, I think like
That's
this
true.
week.
Let's maybe if we
Is there any maximum?
It shouldn't be less.
I wonder if we open it up and then copy all of the data onto a new sheet, maybe?
Yeah.
Go to your Excel. Do you think if we have them open it up in Excel and then copy all of the data onto a new sheet? It's not reading these
Yeah, I think because it's not a one-to-one, it's a one-to-many, so they gotta use one key is
open your Excel.
This one?
No, your Excel. You have Excel.
yeah, it's just you need the join, right? On your computer.
Yeah. It's working on here on your computer.
Okay, let's make it
Yeah.
because it's
Oh.
a relay. It's a
Okay. Maybe can we copy all of this? Just try and copy all of it. And then put it on a sheet. And I need Excel sheet.
It's actually.
yeah, that's over.
Yeah.
And then
That's an excellent.
yeah, either try to both a CSV and a Excel. You did XLS?
Yeah.
Did you see
Excel.
XLS?
Yes. Excel.
With the older version? Should I go to this one? Yeah, the older version.
They're not that smart.
And then try to.
And then it's like right here. Yeah.
No, the one above. No.
Okay.
Open the classroom.
Wait. Use your footprint? Is that the new one that you're in?
Yeah. It'll go computer and drawings. So it's a GIS demo. Oh, yeah, that's
There we go. Okay, it works when he put it as an Excel. So what he did was he opened the CSV in Excel, copied all of the data, pasted it on a new workbook, saved it as a XLS, which is the old the old version of Excel.
95.
95 to 2003 or something, or 97 to 2003.
Open the classroom with the CSV.
97 to
97
2003.
to 2003. Save it as that. But what he did was he copied it. He copied the data.
I didn't have to. I just had to
Oh.
save as.
Oh, you just saved as and it worked?
So you can-
Oh, okay.
Wait, classroom
So it's kind of keypad and down files.
Save as.
Yeah. So you have to.
So
And
what we got sometimes we always got database or something like CSV. You have to convert and pass it to like Excel.
yeah. So sometimes it doesn't like embedded like formatting, and it doesn't like special characters. So that's why sometimes I'll just copy all of the data and paste it so that it doesn't carry over any
We noticed that they
embedded
most
format.
Okay, so we're going to split XLS right now.
Yeah.
simple.
Like even when you filter in Excel, it doesn't like that. So you have to like filter it out and then save it without like
Under here, select.
special things.
Okay, good. You good?
Should add and now.
I'm gonna add that in. Is it working for you guys now?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Okay, so if you click validate join, it'll show you what your errors are, if there are any. And there are, but usually you just I don't know. I just would
Yeah, for this purposes, you just click OK. It's good.
yeah, click OK. And then if you open that attribute table now, it should have the information that you just joined. So go to that new layer, open attribute table, and then scroll like all the way to the right. Let's see. It should have the new information.
You see it's added on.
Okay, wait, let's see. Classroom, under description, you see that some of them have classrooms now.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that shows that because we're looking for classrooms, right?
Can you see this?
That's what we can just add.
Yeah.
Maximize this part.
Okay.
Oh, I got you. So using building number as a matching.
Yeah, so that's what it's
Right.
doing.
Match data.
The footprint to the classroom.
So we with the AIM data, we took it and then we extracted all of the rooms or buildings that have classrooms in it, and
It's
then
actually more complicated. Depending on the relation between the two tables, you'd have to use a join or a relate. But to make it simpler, right now we're making join because it serves the purpose. So it's matching the building number to the building number in both the Excel tables. So before you do a join, you have to examine each attribute table and look at which field or which column is their similarity. So before you actually have to join it. But for today, since we know it's building number, we just said to put in building number. But sometimes it's like building number on one sheet, and the other sheet is like properties. You just gotta examine both before you do your joins.
And see how you want to join it.
Okay.
Okay. So. Oh, okay. Okay, so now we have to export this shapefile into a new shapefile, and we have to do this in order to do our next step, or else it's gonna shut down ArcGIS.
Yeah. Sometimes it works, sometimes it shut down. So like right now, that footprint is joined with another table, so it has both the data, the data from both tables. But if you export it again, it will have the data permanently within the new shapefile. Like right now, it's just joined temporarily, but if it exports permanently, joined together.
And if you don't export it, then and you save and close. When you open it again, it won't be there. So in order to make it permanent, you have to export it into a new shapefile.
Even though I said it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it'll when you open it again, the join won't be there.
I see.
So we're kind of like exporting it into a new shapefile so that it solidifies that join. So make a new shapefile. So right click on that new one, data, export data. And then you can keep the top things the same, and then change the output feature class. Go to your local folder and where you want it to save it, and then give it a new name. Yeah, so like you could name it like UHM classrooms now. I don't know. Just give it a new name.
That's a descriptive is better.
Yeah, descriptive.
Once you have 20 shapefiles there, you can remember which one you want.
Click OK. And yes, you want to add it to the map. Okay, so now we're going to select that attributes so that we can select which buildings have classrooms inside of them.
You can close the rest, like you can uncheck the previous
The old
versions,
one.
just to make it easier to see.
Okay, so open the attribute table, and then there's this icon right here, select by attributes. Okay, this part is this is like the
It's like a query. So I'm not sure other programs, but in Arc, if you open the attribute table and you only want to select the features that you want into this. So basically, we're saying that on the attribute table, we want to select the rows that says either classroom, class laboratory, anything with classroom, right?
right.
So this is the method to do that.
Okay, so we want to create a new selection, and then you want to. Oh, well, first you want to double check to make sure what column that attribute is located in. When we created this tutorial, it was classroom 4, but now it's description. Oh, description.
Description kind of truncates it.
So is that what it's called on your guys' one too?
Yeah.
Okay, so you want to double click on that under in this area, because we're gonna start writing the query.
You want to double click description so it appears in the.
It appears down here. Okay, and then you see where it says get unique values? We're gonna click that so that it populates these values.
Equals first.
Oh, Go to equals.
Equals?
Yeah, and then get unique values.
Like for this part, it works with texts and numbers. So when you see equals, it's basically saying select the description equals those. But if you have numbers, you can like, either pick like greater than 1 or greater than 2. Depends on what query you want. That can apply like if you want to pick like a polygon with an area greater than 100 square meters, you can do it this way. But right now we're working with strings, so equals is should be good.
Okay, and then we're gonna double click on the first one, class. You didn't, it didn't come up for you? Did you click get unique values?
Yep.
Is it in the right column? Did you
use
choose the right column?
folder? Is this your name?
I have to select this which ones, 3 of them, right?
Right. That's what we want. So then go to select by attributes and then go down to
Oh, why is this empty?
get unique values. Again, double click on class lab because it's the first one. And then it'll populate there.
Go
Okay.
back to Excel.
And then go to, oh, okay.
Is your good yet? Okay. I think something happened when you did your Excel. The original
Then
Excel.
I have to go meeting.
Getting lazy?
I have to go meetings
Alright.
evening. Can't take my bike with.
To the meeting?
Yeah,
Is that a negative?
And they think you're even green.
oh yeah, sure. I think I have to fix my seat. Keep moving up and down.
You're like, damn. Just fix it last time.
It's very hard now too.
Okay. You want so we're gonna check.
Why don't you sing a song while we're waiting?
This one. Okay.
Hi, Dana. Yeah.
Better than yesterday.
Okay, so for those of you who are ready, if you click OR, you see where it says OR over here? Okay, click that, and then we're gonna do the same process for all of these unique values that populated. So you wanna go descript show equals, then choose the next one, class lab service, or so we have to do that for each one. No, continue. So descripto equals, then you choose the next one, class lab service, then or, then you gotta do it again, descripto
Like that.
equals class lab, classroom lab.
So we
Or-
have to do this with those.
Yeah.
Just
You're
all,
yeah.
you cannot do just all the other them.
Yeah, you can.
So can I have a space in between or that's need no space in between?
I think if you just do it, it'll make the spaces for you.
Or
So just make sure you choose all of them. Oops.
We got two spaces in the wall.
You gotta do it for every single one.
There's always a space.
Yeah, because that's the column that we're pulling it from.
not the next one.
Yeah, because or is like saying you wanna do a new, I don't know, sentence or.
Because you're trying to say you want to pick class laboratory or laboratory service or classroom. And so you want all of it, right?
Right.
So that's why you want to pick or. Because if you say and, it's like saying you want to click, you want to select something that's both class laboratory and classes. So it's kind of like when you're doing something between two fields. It's like an intersection basically. So like if you're using two fields, you cannot do and in the same field. It's like saying you want cookies that are sugar and round. You know, and that's like the intersection of those cookies and all.
That was a bad example.
Yeah, that's a bad example.
Yeah, so we're just saying from the column description, we want it to match with classroom.
It's like you want it to.
Or okay, is everybody done with that part? No?
Click verify.
analogy.
See if-
Apply. I know the cookie.
I should write a sign.
You click verify to see if you guys wrote the
That
right
projector
thing.
is just like.
Yes.
Plus, there's a lot of dust in here. You see all the dust that's flying here?
Click verify.
Okay, did you guys click verify?
Yes.
It should say that it was successfully verified.
Wait,
Okay.
here's an error. So if you have an error, it's like you didn't do a correct something.
I think it might be this space.
All right, here you forgot an or right here. You forgot an or right here.
Oh, right here too.
Or right here.
Okay. Don't forget the ors, and then you can choose. I mean, do apply when you're done, and then you'll see that on the attribute table, we have all of the the ones with classrooms selected, and then if you also go to your map, you'll see that the buildings on campus that have classrooms are selected as well. Yeah. You can close the select by attribute window and the attribute table. Okay, so you'll see that all of the classrooms the buildings that have classrooms are selected on the map. Okay, so that was the hard way to do it, and then sometimes for this specific example, there's a much easier way to do it, but we just wanted to show you the one of the ways to do it. So you can deselect these buildings by going to this icon right here and clicking on it. It's the clear selected features. Okay, so right click on your attribute table again. Yeah. And then once your attribute table is open, go to the column, the description, and then right click on it and then sort ascending. Oh, descending, sorry. And then we're just gonna manually select all of the ones that have a name under this. So just click on like the bottom one or the top one and then shift and then click on that other one. So hold shift and then click on the top. Yeah, or you can start from the top, click on the first one, shift, and then select the last one. So you should have 84 out of 350 selected. So it pretty much did the same thing. So if you look at your map, you'll see that the same buildings have been selected. So we just did it manually, which in this case it was a way faster and easier way to do it.
And the difference with this one is if we export it, can you right click on UHM classrooms and export?
Data
The difference
export
with
data.
this is, wait, no, it did this too. The selected features. Yeah, it's different from earlier because we used all.
Oh yeah, so when we made new shape files, like how we just created new shape files like 10 minutes ago, that one said that we're doing all of the features, but right now we're gonna export these selected features into a new shape file. So right click on the layer, data, export data. And then you want to make sure that under export it says selected features. And then you can use the same coordinate system as this layers data source. And then in the output feature class, make sure you navigate to your folder that you want to save it to and give it a new name. So I don't know, maybe classrooms. Or whatever you want to name it. Because this is going to be the one that we're keeping.
This was actually pretty good in. But what actually happens with multiple flaw?
What do you mean when
Once we have that multiple flaw, this one representative by making it. So the actual classroom or class lab, they might have one buildings might have different flaw.
With that, I think the way to do floors is to have each floor as a separate layer, and then per layer you have to select the classrooms based on that layer, and then maybe later you can combine the outputs. If you want to have this layer of floor by floor indication, the way to do it is have each floor has its own layer, and then select classrooms.
Because it cannot actually show multiple flaw. Control and all that.
It will be overlapping.
Okay, so we can deselect those selections by clicking on that icon, clear selected features, and then if you want to look at the attribute table, it'll be a lot cleaner. It should be. So this attribute table should only have 84. Okay, so right now you can remove the old, like, you know, the old ones that we used to create this one. Not the footprints. Leave the footprints.
This is the process Dana did to make that.
The BIM status map, yeah. Okay, so that's the picture of the classrooms. Yeah, so this is the same process. It was a few more steps though, but it's pretty much the same process.
So I think that's all the buildings at UH that has classrooms.
Right here, yeah.
Yeah, bring this up with the biggest system.
Right? So you guys should have
You have
that.
to manage
Which we-
probably actually table.
Yes.
Meaning, well, we got that from AIM. So we have the AIM database, right? That we extract information from, and then we massage it, I guess you could say, to what we want to use to join it.
Somebody made it.
So that means this is a longest process.
It's easier always if you have the data preloaded.
Yeah.
If somebody else made the data. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have to go like individually and survey.
But we have all that information right now in AIM, right? Yeah. The AIM database. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to talk about is georeferencing and spatial adjust. So, Julius, you want to explain?
I'll be back. I have to grab
Oh.
my
Okay, so this part is georeferencing and spatial adjust is like pretty much the same thing, but it's used for different reasons. Do you have a?
Yeah, Sometimes you have data in a paper map that you want to put in digital form, or like it's in PDF. But these don't have coordinates to it, right?
Yeah.
So it's not georeferenced as it's called. So in order to get this to digital form, you have to basically scan it and do either georeferencing for raster or picture maps, or spatial adjustment if it's vector data like line work from CAD. Because CAD, if you didn't give it coordinates, it's in the wrong coordinates. So if you want to put it on ARC and have it line up, you have to do either spatial adjustment or georeferencing. And we have a lot of data that's in PDF form that we got from different sources or like hand drawn that we need to digitize. And before we can do that, we need to georeference it. So that's georeferencing and spatial adjust. They're the same process, but for today, we're just gonna do georeference.
And we use this for a lot of the layers that we created. So Philippe did use that for the parking because he imported the DXFs onto the maps. We use that with like, I don't know, transportation, other transportation, emergency services, all kinds of other different layers. Okay, so did we talk about this already?
For this example,
Yeah, so today we're going to use this emergency response facilities image, and we're going to lay it over our current map, and so that we can digitize it. Okay, so the first step is to overlay this TIFF image. Yeah.
it's gonna be, we'll make it simple. Yeah, so before you can georeference or before you can digitize, which is basically tracing, you have to georeference or can you go back one slide? And so you have to basically make it overlay on top of each other where it's supposed to be. So that's georeferencing, and this is the process to do that. So first step is to load your images.
So go to add data. We've been doing it.
Yeah, add data and load the TIFF file,
which is in the Demo 2 folder, and it's called Emergency Response Facility.
Yes.
Just click on that and do add.
Don't double click.
Yeah, just click on it.
And add.
And then say yes when you want to build pyramids, right?
Yes. Yes.
I got this error.
Yes, you'll have an unknown spatial reference error that's supposed to be there. Just click OK.
Yeah.
Because it's just a regular picture, it has no spatial reference. So that's what's going to happen. Huh?
Okay, so it added on, but you're not gonna see it because it's not georeferenced. So it's gonna be like somewhere far away. So if you right click on that layer in the table of contents and go to zoom to layer, you'll see it's like somewhere else.
Really, really slow.
It's way far, yeah, like who knows where. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get it onto our map. Okay, so we're gonna give this image a projection, which what we did yesterday. Do you guys remember how to do that?
Remember projection, right?
How to project an image?
Well, it's slightly different. Yesterday you guys you just did project. This one is define projection. The difference is the image you have right now doesn't have any projection, so you're defining it. Basically, you're giving it a projection.
Yeah.
The one yesterday, it was a wrong projection, and you're just making it correct. So you want to look for defined projection. A shortcut is on the right side. You see the search button. Click on that.
Which one?
Yeah, search, and then under search you'll see a line for tools. Click on tools. There's tools and selection for tools. Click on that, and then so just type in define projection. It's the easier way of looking for it. So,
And don't forget to save your map too.
Okay, let's start data.
you want define projection, data coverage, data management. Data management.
Oh no, what's happening?
Search on the right.
It's not responding now.
Yes. If it's not on the right hand side, it's on the
So it
top.
doesn't have feature.
Like you're like,
Okay, good.
one on data.
Oh no, this one wasn't responding. It just finally. Okay, so you can.
It's not a cat.
It's in the catalog. No, it's in the art toolbox.
So you can go to search and what define projection.
The raster. Wait, where is it? Define projection. Okay.
Defined yesterday as we do.
Just project.
Just project. Yeah.
Just project.
Yesterday was
Today
project.
we're doing define. And then choose the.
Yeah, click that. So click
Choose your layer and then define.
on the drop down. Choose the TIFF layer that you just loaded, and then do projection. Emergency management.
So input the emergency.
Yeah, emergency, the TIFF that you just did, and then the coordinate system you wanna
Drop down.
click on that icon to the right.
Coordinate system, you have to
Go to select
Um,
projected coordinate systems.
Yeah, the same.
UTM, same as yesterday, NAD 1983, and then NAD 1983 UTM zone 4N.
expert. Same as yesterday.
And then OK. And OK.
Then you give it a projection.
And then we go to UTM.
Same as yesterday. Yeah.
And then just forward.
Yeah.
Forward.
For it, yeah.
And then just hit OK.
Yeah, hit OK.
Just show you.
UTM NAT 83.
Okay, so the next, you guys ready?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
2 seconds. For it. Okay, close. Okay.
Okay, so we're gonna turn on our georeferencing toolbar. So just right click over here, like in this area. And then go to georeferencing and then click that. That'll bring up our georeferencing toolbar.
If you guys want, you can dock it on the top because you're dragging it towards the grid. Some grid here.
Just do it.
Okay. Ready? Okay, so we want to make sure that under the
Who's going on?
Okay, so you did projected it. So you want to make sure your georeferencing toolbar is on. So right click in the and then go click georeferencing. Okay, so under layer on the georeferencing toolbar, make sure that you have the TIFF image as the layer.
Which one?
The emergency response facilities. Okay. So that's saying that we're gonna georeference that image. Okay, so go to georeferencing and then make sure auto adjust is checked. Okay, so now we're going to create control points to georeference the image. And pretty much this process is we're going to choose this icon, and then we're going to add a point on our map, our TIFF, and then we're going to pick the same point on the aerial image. So we're like matching points. Okay, so a good spot for this is right this corner around here on University and Dole. So you got to zoom in to that area on the Okay, so when you've zoomed into your point, right, you're gonna choose add control points, that icon, and then you're gonna click on a point. Is that good? Which one? Here? Okay. Then we have to go to the table of contents, and then right
Aerial image.
right click on the aerial image and go to zoom to layer,
Any aerial image.
and then zoom into that same spot. So you're gonna have to use these buttons like to zoom.
You can uncheck the road or whatever layers you have.
So find that same spot.
Oh, it's any area. It's any- You have to find that same spot.
I know, where is it, yeah?
Once you click on it, it should fly there.
It's right here, yeah?
Yeah,
Okay. But you gotta, okay, make sure your control point button is clicked again so that you can click on it. Okay, so once you do that, it'll go to that point, but it's still not matched up. So you're gonna have to choose another point. And don't push Control Z, because it'll totally take off this image from your map.
You would unload the layer instead of.
Why we have to
Wait, so
If you make a mistake, like if you click the wrong point, usually people think, oh, Control Z, but don't do that because it'll take off this whole.
bad habits.
Yeah, that happened. You can check your own faces.
Okay, so now you want to choose another point. It's good to choose a point somewhere on the opposite side of the map, right? Oh.
What do they use? Switch.
What do you mean by opposite side?
Meaning, like, you don't want to choose a point close to the point you just chose. So, like, if you go like to another part of campus,
I see.
choose a point that's far.
You see, is right now the image is blocking the map, so we want to make it transparent. So right click on the emergency TIFF, go to properties, the under display tab, transparency, make that like maybe 30 or 25%. So you have transparency, right? Yeah. Okay, so we want to pick another point in our TIFF. So let's zoom in at this intersection of East-West Road and Mailiw.
More home?
Yeah, near Moore Hall. Yeah, so add point right here. Yeah, everybody good? So so either zoom back to layer or zoom out, and then go back, zoom in to that area. Right here.
Yeah, canopy is kind of blocked away.
No, it's at a point
Oh, yeah,
around
yeah,
it.
yeah.
So yeah, I've picked this so it's easier. Okay?
hold on, still looking for it. There's trees in the way.
There's a rounded point.
Oh, we're doing
Oh, they scale it too.
Yeah, it scales it.
So we're just
Oh,
like
okay.
pinpoint that we
Oh,
want.
That's why when you have
So that's why you have to control 2 points.
yeah,
Is that the reason?
Huh?
Is that the reason? That's why you have to control 2 points.
Yeah.
Only 2 points.
No, more than at least the more points the better usually.
Don't you think that we should just take like?
And the reasons we have to do a far away opposite side because you want to enlarge somehow
Yeah,
scale it.
you don't want to distort the image as much. You want to spread it all around the image so that the whole image will get scaled to the its correct coordinates.
See, so basically, it's kind of typically distort.
Yeah, it's distorting. Yeah, it's rubber sheeting.
Not really. It's quite familiar.
What about, because this one raster,
Mhm.
it doesn't maintain the coordinates.
Yeah, it does it. Especially if it's a badly made raster, it's difficult to do it.
Yeah.
Like if you look here, you can see it's still not good yet.
Yeah.
You see this?
It's close, but it's not like.
Yeah. So third one, let's do a third one right. Now it's hard to see.
Oh no, where's that?
Okay, let's go to the intersection of Maile and no, not Maile, East West Road and Dole Street.
Got it.
Yeah. Click here and here. Yeah, that's why you gotta play with transparency.
Okay.
Yeah, you guys know where I am?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, they're pretty close to each other. So let's do that. Okay. So click on here and then click right here. Good? Okay, let's pick a fourth one, intersection of University and Maile Way.
Whoa, where are you now?
University and Maile Way, intersection. And Maile Way.
Actually, it's okay. You need to give me time to look for that. Yeah, turn it.
Okay.
So, it's already clear. Kind of.
Yeah, kinda. We'll just make a fourth one.
Oh, mine is right on it, though.
Kinda. Well, you can see where the lamp was. Yeah? Okay. So this is difficult to do if the raster is really, really bad in the first place. So I think with 4 points, it looks pretty good with 4 points, right? If you zoom all the way up.
How many times does it matter?
Yeah. Normally, at least 3. At least 3, the more the better. Until you're happy with how it overlays. Okay, is everybody at this point right now?
Sure, yeah.
Okay.
Good? So if you zoom out all the way out like this, you can see it's pretty good fit right now, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so final step, you want to make your points permanent, like, because if you exit right now, your TIFF file might not be georeferenced. So you want to go georeferencing right here, and you want to do rectify, so that makes the changes you made permanent.
Wait, so you click on it?
Yeah, georeferencing and then rectify. Okay,
Yes, sir.
got this? Let's put that. And this should be good.
What's that?
On this screen now, keep the defaults except for output location. You want to put it somewhere where you can find it again. You can name it,
Georeferencing.
yeah, georeferenced.
That's
Put Geo.
Geo, geo.
Geo emergency.
Yeah, geo emergency.
You can say.
Oh, okay. You have to keep it within 13 characters. This is the bad part about rasters in Arc. When you're saving it, You gotta make it 13 characters. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
No,
9, 10, 11,
cannot.
12, 13. It should be.
Well, it says it couldn't be found. That means it's a
It could not be found.
Could be found.
Yeah.
Why?
You have to. Don't you have to like create a folder?
Oh, okay.
Isn't it like the parent?
Okay, go back.
Your folder?
How we add folder first?
Okay, yeah, okay. It's different. It says output location,
Yeah.
so it's asking for the folder, not the file itself. So it's asking for the folder. So just click highlight demo 2 and click add.
the name is different.
The name.
And then the name,
File. So
you can keep the name. Okay, everybody done that part?
Yes.
For the name, again, descriptive, geo, emergency. The format, we can leave it as TIFF, but you can choose anyone you want. I'll leave it as is. Ready?
Yes.
And click save, and hopefully it would save. Not respond.
Yeah.
For my computer, edit. Oh, just wait. Come on. Oh, you're done? Everybody's done?
Just see how back in the day.
Why are we missing a corner?
Okay, are we done?
Yep. Yes. Okay. So, everybody good?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Good, good.
Yeah.
Okay. So now we have the image georeferenced, basically overlaid correctly. So the second step is you want to digitize the information that's on that map. Okay, we're doing that, right?
Yeah.
We just
Well, I mean,
First
we're
thing
not.
yesterday.
We're not gonna. You guys don't have to do the whole thing, but
just practice.
yeah. So we're gonna create a new polygon shapefile so that we can draw on it.
You guys remember how to make shapefiles from yesterday?
Yes.
Do you guys remember how to do that?
Hey, that's not easy for you.
Just go to your
Catalog.
catalog.
Yeah, see.
Right click on the folder. Anyone, yeah.
Yeah.
Right click, new
Make
shapefile.
polygon.
Shapefile. Make sure the feature type is a polygon.
What should the name be?
The name. Well, we're tracing it for the emergency response facility, so you could do like emergency. If you name it emergency, and then don't forget to give it the correct coordinate system.
Where
So go to edit.
I have to just go to the GIS Demo.
Yeah, right click on that, and then new shapefile.
Yeah.
Name it.
You get the same projected system you're using.
I just put it as emergency. I named it emergency. Make sure the feature type is a polygon.
Yeah.
And then click edit so that you can, and then select.
Okay. Are you sure you picked polygon this time?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Project. So did you guys give it the correct coordinate system?
Yes.
Okay. Click OK.
You should see it added to your table of contents, right?
The new shapefile.
New shape here. Here. See it?
Yes. So now you're gonna trace polygons over these yellow.
Where's the one? It's right there.
So what I
Areas.
just export this raster. This one
Well,
to
no,
create a
you
shape
created a
file.
new shapefile because we're gonna
Oh, okay.
draw the polygons. You see these yellow emergency response facilities here?
So pick like one or two. Remember how to edit the polygon, right? And you should have your editor on.
Make sure your editor toolbar, start editing.
Starter.
Choose the layer that you want to edit. Continue. Make sure the under your create features box pops up.
Editor is going with pencil.
Wait, where is that again?
Going with pencil on your editor tool.
Oh, right here. Create features. If your create features window doesn't pop up, then polygon, and then just start drawing.
Polygon.
Yeah, it doesn't draw very nicely.
It doesn't help.
What doesn't? Your
It
create
isn't
features? Oh, then you have to click on.
Oh, because it's not a vector file, you're tracing it, so it's not gonna snap on the picture.
Polygon. And then now you can start drawing.
You cannot snap raster this way.
No, not raster, because you're basically tracing it over another image.
I see.
And it's in different layers, so it's not gonna snap on a raster. F2 is finished.
You can change the color of this layer if you're having a hard time seeing.
Ooh.
Just think of it as you're pushing away from the world, so that way the scroll is that.
Oh yeah, the scroll is backwards.
Because you're pushing away from the world when you zoom out.
I thought that was back from all the programs.
Okay, so yeah, this
You
is.
need to do this.
What's our watch screen?
So just pick a select view. You don't have to go.
Yeah, it's gonna take a long time if you. It's just to show you guys the process.
I'll do it all.
It's good.
Okay, you guys did some polygons.
I think next time we need a massive work, so it's a massive.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna make him do some spatial analysis.
Okay, I'm down to that.
2 million is good enough, right?
Yeah, two. It's not really. It's a space. It's where construction people work when they build something.
It do is not a snap on.
That's the building. Yeah, you're snapping on the building right now.
That's okay, right?
Yeah. Snaps are all good.
Can I undo this one?
Oh, this is a hippo. Good. Waiting on key. Okay,
Okay, so
very good.
this is what it would look like when you're done.
Remember to save edits. Save your edits.
Oh yeah, stop and then save your.
Save your edits and then stop everything. On the edit key.
Yes, sir.
So you're gonna put
Yeah, save edits. Stop editing.
Emergency, then you super work hard.
So yeah. So and then say if you uncheck the TIFF image, you uncheck the TIFF image. You can see you just made something on the map.
Yeah.
Got it?
So if you uncheck your tip.
Check your tip.
And
This
now we're
this
going to add a
tip.
legend, right?
Oh no, well I mean if you when you're complete, if you want to export the map, you can do that. But then also
I think I'm doing this software.
These are great.
we're almost done.
I love
We're just I guess the next step would be to make sure your attribute table is filled out. So and that's just the last. That's pretty much the last. Well, not the last step, but it's a step in the process of digitizing a shapefile. So either you would manually input the data, or you would join the data from an already filled out.
Right click on the layer you guys just made and open this attribute table.
Yeah, you'll see that
You can see
there's
it's empty, right?
nothing is there.
Yeah, because you just made the shape, but you didn't give it any other information. So you either have to manually input it, or as David said, join another table.
Yeah, so this one was created by inputting in the locations.
Another part. It's kind of hard to. You cannot join a table because you don't have a field to join a table to.
So you have to create.
Yes, you have to create. Because you're basically making a layer from scratch, right? You're giving it all the information. So that's why it takes so long. So it's good to have all the information available and ready, collected before you start this process. So it takes time to.
like Reddit. So we can come up with
We did it.
That's
schedule.
it. We're
So how
done.
we gonna join other further information
Yeah, like
to the Revit space. So
an
how we gonna
information-
based on this? Based on by numbers.
go back to art.
Okay, that's one.
To art.
So let's say you guys want to get area for the thing. So just right click on your attribute table again, have it pop up. Just an example. The last one.
Emergency?
Yeah, emergency. Let's say you guys want to know the area of that certain polygon. So just click on the table on the left, the top left, and select add field. Basically add a column. Type, make this a double. Make this a double. And name the same area. Yeah, press enter.
What do you mean by that?
The type.
So is that even called?
Yeah. So fields are called columns, or columns are called fields in Revit. So press OK. You guys have that there. And so right click on the area name. Got it? And go calculate geometry.
Yes.
Yes. So property, select area, select your units, square meters is good. And click enter again. Okay. Let's see. And you see, you just populated the area of that thing.
So double mean like
Double? It's like this is a computer thing. Like single double is basically the amount of bytes that the layer has. So I think floating and double, you can have a lot of decimal places. But if you have like a single, you're limited to the number of numbers. Yeah. I always pick double because spacing computers are a lot these days, so you don't have to worry about memory. That's always so, yeah, that's one way of populating the field.
But how do I
How do you know
which one of those?
How would you know which polygon is which?
Oh, if you know which polygon is which, so highlight one by clicking a box on the left, and then you can look at your map. It should be highlighted.
How about the rest?
It'll select it.
Because
If you
have
select it on the
selected.
attribute table, it'll select it on the map.
Don't select anything you do. Yes. So if you select that there, you highlight something, you can see it highlighted on your map. That's it. Yeah. Yeah, so you can populate it in area, perimeter, you can add name, anything. So let's start with it.
Let me join a team for 2 weeks.
Yeah,
Good. You
so
can digitize
One
all
challenge,
of
one challenge.
our PDFs.
You want to do my sidewalks?
Wait, it's not gonna be accurate though, because the images are not as high definition as you're in the pocket.
Yeah.
When we accumulate the area, it's not nearly as accurate, but
It's always accurate as how
I-
you digitize it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
You get to make a fucking
So sometimes, so
Oh,
people.
we got this, man.
In an hour.
We got this.
Okay, so that's the two process. So you guys learn some more things to
Give me everything.
Yeah, so that's pretty much that's it. I
learn. Yeah,
mean,
that's the
really sort of-
process
On my
of
resume.
making.
Put that down there.
Just stuff we really know.
So if you see any PDFs online,
Yeah.
you
That's
can
my
digitize
job.
it.
How do you stop this?
Stuff like.
You can actually last it up to
Are you recording it? That's right.
Oh, F10.
Oh, yeah.
Function F10.